Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Kris, and you're watching
Thanks! We Hate It with Alex and Kris.
Woo. All right, today we're going to be doing the worst of Nickelodeon, and that can include all aspects of the Nick world, TV shows, movies, and just the studio in general. I think we might have slightly different lists because we're 10 years apart in age, and so our Nick experiences were slightly different.
A little bit.
Like, I feel like Nickelodeon in my day was a lot more interactive with their audience, and a lot of the shows were more for kids to, hey, I wanted to be on Guts so bad.
I'm Mike O'Malley, and this is Nickelodeon Guts. Do you have it?
Oh, I wanted to climb that aggro crag so bad.
I remember Guts.
My God. I wanted to be
Hidden
Guts.
Temple. I remember a lot of those.
I wanted to be on Legends of the Hidden Temple so bad, guys.
I watched that
Blue
shit
Barracuda, yup. Sure
yeah.
wanted to. I don't like the adult version. The CW came back and did an adult version of Legends of the Hidden Temple, and I've watched a couple episodes, and I'm not feeling it.
I haven't
They
watched
still have
it.
Olmec. They still have the story, but they've like stretched it out into an I don't know. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I
haven't.
I did because I love Legends of the Hidden Temple. So, yeah, there is a lot more. I feel like studio audience stuff shows like what would you do, and you can't say that or you can't do that on television, and you know
the good old Mark Summers, you know.
Oh God, Mark Summers was my childhood, and then Summer
Mark
Sandy came on and hosted like Figure It Out and stuff like that. So,
are you? Well, yeah, you would have to. All that.
Oh God, yeah. I watched all that from the
yes.
first episode of the first season all the way through, I think, when Kenan and Kel left and started the Kenan and Kel show.
Right. Okay.
I know I watched it with Amanda Bynes on. I know I watched that. And then the Amanda show. Amanda show was around the time I started abandoning
it was like
Nickelodeon.
early 2000s, I think, kind of when Amanda show was starting to get some traction. And then I know there was Kenan and Kel show, you know, when they did their own. And fun fact, I am horror relating this because I have to, it's my job. Ken Foree from Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, The Dentist,
played the dad.
A whole bunch. He played the fucking dad.
Sure did.
What happened? I want to know who's responsible. Who's responsible? I'll see y'all later. Please, he's got his whole life ahead of him. I'm just a child.
I remember, I have a great memory tied to this. It was like fucking 12 in the morning, and I was like, I think I was like 23 or 24, you know, so I was like, just watching, you know, like Nickelodeon at like 12 in the morning. I was like,
you do.
This is fine, you know, I worked a late job back then, and I was watching Kenan and Kel, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Kenan and Kel, let's go. And then I totally didn't realize Ken Foree comes on the screen, and I'm like, no fucking way. I was, oh my God, I was so fucking excited.
Both. He can do children's comedy and horror.
Yes. And he was great. He was great in
really
both of them. And then I think like a year or so later, I met him at a convention and I got
That's
an
cool.
autograph.
That's cool.
And he was, I think I actually probably talked about this, but he was like one of the best human beings I think I've ever met.
Not surprising.
He gave such like really tight hugs, and he shook my hand really hard, you know, and he was just so friendly. He was like, you take care of yourself now. And I was like, I won't unless you do. And he just kind of points at me and I point at him back, and I was like, good to meet you.
Should've
you know,
brought him an orange soda.
Right. And he was, I just get giddy talking about it. He was such a nice guy. Ken Foree, I love you more than anything. He's my horror movie dad.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into this.
Yes.
We'll start with number 5.
My number 5, I'm going to list Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie. I'm going to start there. So I like Jimmy Neutron. I grew up with Jimmy Neutron. I thought it was, I liked the aesthetic of it. I liked the animation, and I really liked like the production design behind it. So like a lot of like the 50s feel, 50s vibe, like the Atomic Age, which was really popular around that time. I loved those elements in that show. But Jimmy Neutron, like the movie was just shitty. Like I just prefer the show because I feel like you could like have more antics, and they proved that you could have more antics with like especially the characters that they introduced. Because I mean, like Carl and Sheen are iconic. They're iconic.
The only part of that show I like.
I know what you mean, Jimmy. That's why I decided early on to sabotage my highly scientific mind with cartoons and sugar.
And plus, like, I fucking hate Jimmy Neutron, like the character Jimmy Neutron.
Right.
He's such a dick.
Right.
And he uses his friends because he knows that they're not superior to his knowledge, and they're not his real friends if you're gonna do that. So that's
like
really
a worse
fucking
version
shitty.
of Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
Yes. And like he you know, used his friends, you know, and that's just really fucking shitty and not a vibe. But like I mostly watched it for Carl and Sheen. So it was like I didn't really give a shit about Jimmy Neutron.
Fair.
But yeah, the movie was just I mean the show because I think they did the movie first and then they did the show.
I don't remember.
I'm
just the only thing
sure
I
that's
remember
the
about
case.
Jimmy Neutron is I was so mad because he invaded my Fairly Odd Parents show. I love the Fairly Odd Parents.
I remember
And
that,
so they did a
yes.
crossover and I was like, this is bullshit.
I remember
I was
that.
a grown-ass adult, I think, at that point going, this is bullshit. Get your show off my show.
Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame at all. But yeah, I remember that. And I was like, this is kind of weird. You know, I was like, I don't know if I like the crossovers, you know. And then they made, you know, Timmy Turner animated in Jimmy
I didn't
Neutron,
like that.
and
that was
fucking
odd.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was awful. So
Some
awful.
don't relate to that style of animation, and Timmy Turner did not.
No, absolutely not. It just didn't. There was a huge disconnect between those two types of animation.
For reals.
But yeah, anyway, fuck Jimmy Neutron as a character, fuck the movie. The show was good. Okay, number 5, let's go.
My number 5 is when Nickelodeon canceled Doug and gave the rights to Disney. Yup. Okay, I
did not know about this.
I loved Doug.
sad.
I did. I really did. I still to this day will find myself going do 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 do.
Hell yes.
Or just randomly being like banging on a trash can.
Yep.
I love Doug.
I love
the
Doug.
beats as the Beatles. Like, I love Doug. Everything about Doug, loved it. Then, after 4 seasons on Nickelodeon, even though it had still good ratings, canceled it, sold it to Disney. Disney put it on their, like, Saturday morning block or whatever they
Yeah.
had on ABC for a while. 3 seasons it ran there, and it was utter and total bullshit. They changed everything. I don't even think they had the same voice actors for some of the characters. But what pissed me off, and this is, I admit, this is very petty and stupid, but I was a child, or preteen, whatever, I don't even remember when, but they changed their costumes and hairstyles slightly, and I was like, nope, I'm out. I can't do this. This is bullshit. Like, nope.
Like, you
Fuck
are ruining
you ruined
my life.
everything. Right. You ruined Doug. Fuck off, Disney. So yeah, that really stuck in my craw over the years. I'm still kind of bitter about it, so that's why it's on my list.
You know, I mean, to be fair, you know, when you have such fond memories of a show, and you have such, you know, I mean, it's not necessarily, people need to understand it's not necessarily just the show. Sometimes it's just the environment that they were in.
Well, no,
where it
I
was
like
comforting to them.
Doug because Doug was about a kid who would just go off and daydream and have these wild, crazy fantasies. And that was me all the time. It was always in my head, living some weird story, fantasy, whatever. And so I totally related to Doug. Like, Quail Man and his dog Pork Chop was the little quail dog or whatever. Like,
Pork Chop.
Loved it. I love Doug. So
love
fuck
Pork
Disney
Chop.
for ruining Doug and giving him pants instead of his shorts and
Eat
changing
shit.
Patty Manny's hair and her outfit. Fuck them.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them. Alright, so number 4.
Okay, so I don't necessarily, I have this kind of like towards the bottom because I don't necessarily like hate this show, but it made me uncomfortable, and I feel like if this was made like as an Adult Swim show, I would be all fucking over it, and if it had like adult themes in it, fucking Mr. Meaty.
Okay, that might have been past my time.
I think that was a
have
little
no idea
past
what that
because
is.
Mr. Meaty was a show that was about like 2 teenagers who work at a fast food restaurant, but it was
Good
all
burger.
right, but it was all puppets, and they were fucking creepy. Like listen, I love creepy shit, and I've always loved creepy shit. So when I was younger and I saw that show, it didn't creep me out as much as other kids did. I was like, oh, that's just different and that's just interesting. But it was just super lackluster and just not really fit, in my opinion, for a kid's show. Like, if Adult Swim would have taken this show, and if they would have made it raunchy, and if they would have made it fucking weird as shit, I'd be more than into it.
With Aqua Teen Hunger Force and shit.
Exactly.
Right,
you know, and especially with, you know, the puppets, because that's definitely different. You don't see shit like that on Adult Swim. So I feel like that would fit more in that niche than it would on Nickelodeon. And it just scarred a lot of kids. And I feel bad about that. Like I said, I didn't find it as creepy, but I feel like it didn't fit there. So those are like my only gripes
past
about
my
it.
time. I can't add to this discourse. That was past my time.
That's
so
okay. It's a quick one.
I was an adult at that point, still bitching about the stuff Disney did to me when I was a kid, or Nick and Disney. All right, so my number 4 is Nickelodeon keeping SpongeBob going against Stephen Hillenburg's wishes. Before he died, rest in peace, he said that he wanted the show to end, that he was not down with a reboot. He did not want to reboot anything. And now we've got, Camp Coral. We've got the new Patrick Star show. We've got the regular SpongeBob going into season 1,000,000. And I'm sorry, but I love SpongeBob. I do. I love SpongeBob. When the first movie came out, I was in college, and my roommate and I went and saw it at the campus cinemas.
Yes.
I love SpongeBob. But it's been a long time since I've laughed like I have in the earlier episodes. And the fact that the creator, they're now going against his wishes by doing all this stuff is kind of icky.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious it's a cash grab, and it's obvious that you're doing it for money. You're not doing it for the kids. You're not doing it to
the
carry
show's
on
not
legacy.
as good as it used to be.
You know, it's right. You know, it sure as fuck isn't. And I am a diehard SpongeBob fan. I actually have a SpongeBob tattoo. It's the conch shell, and in the middle of it, it says no. That's my favorite SpongeBob episode. So I adore SpongeBob more than I'm on the same level, but no, I agree. It's fucking shitty. You know, Stephen Hillenburg really brought a lot of joy and a lot of great things to several generations. You know, and he did a lot of really fucking good work. And the fact that he died and he requested, look, this is my baby. I worked on the show.
Let it die with me.
Right. It's like, I worked on the show my whole life. You know, like, please, like, just respect that. And they didn't. Of course, always in the name of money. And it's the root of all fucking evil. And it's shitty. Yep. And I rest in peace, Stephen Hillenburg. And no,
I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Because, not only are they keeping original SpongeBob, they have rebooted it with this Camp Coral or whatever it is. Haven't watched it because I want to respect Stephen Hillenburg. I do. So I haven't really watched SpongeBob in a few years. I have not watched at all the Camp Coral. I have not watched at all the new Patrick Star show. So I don't know what those are like, but I just refuse to watch them because Stephen Hillenburg didn't want them to exist. Right. So.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. It's like I've been keeping up and seeing all the new shit that comes out, but it's just not... You know, and again, I understand you're catering to new audiences now. Right. I understand that. But all you had to do was just keep making better episodes of SpongeBob. Right. You know, that's really all you... And maybe, like, a movie here and there. Because I know they did a couple movies after the actual SpongeBob movie, and that's fine.
They weren't as good.
Right. They weren't as good, but that's fine. And that's all you need. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need all these fucking spin-off shows. Because people are already going to watch SpongeBob. Yeah. They're already going to watch it.
But the problem is Nickelodeon is getting a bit like MTV, where you turn on MTV and it's just ridiculousness all day long. With Nickelodeon, it's like they had to get extra channels. So now they've got Teen Nick and they've got Nick 2 because they just played SpongeBob all day long on Nickelodeon. Yeah. And so they have to put their other shows on different channels. It's like, guys, you're seriously just burying it into the ground. Like, I don't know. It's making me not like SpongeBob. The new one. I will forever love old SpongeBob. Of course. Forever.
I had one of those things called Video Now. This was way before, like, iPods and where you could, you know, watch anything on an iPod or, like, a tablet or anything. So it's like, it was an actual, like, tiny DVD player. And you actually had to buy, like, the Video Now discs.
I do remember this. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And the screen, the fucking screen, y'all, it was not even in color. Right. It was, like, digital. Like, the Tamagotchi screens, that's what it was. And the disc, the special discs you had to buy, they had to be formatted in that special way so they could actually play, like they would.
I never had one.
It was nuts. And it had like a little light on it so you could watch it at night. And dude, I think I used it so much to a point, like,
it just burned out.
It might be. I was saying, like, I remember, like, actually it was a couple of years ago, I found it at my parents' house and I was like, no, like fucking hidden memory unlocked, so yeah, I remember watching a fuckload of SpongeBob on that too, specifically the episode of the hash slinging slasher.
My favorite episode is a really early episode, and it's an April Fool's episode, and he's like running around playing like the most ridiculous pranks on people. But my favorite one, to this day, makes me laugh. I don't know if I was just super high when I watched it at the time, or like, I don't know, but it's stuck as a very good memory. And he's like, a customer at the Krusty Krab's like,
excuse me, can I get a couple ice cubes in here, please?
Sure. A couple of ice cubes coming up.
and SpongeBob comes back with a glass with one ice cube, and he's giggling in the...
April Fools!
What did you do to my drink?
You asked for a couple of ice cubes in your drink, and I only put in one!
I died.
And he got so upset.
I know.
Like, the voice acting, what did you do to my drink? No. I love
that episode. I love it so much. Let's move on.
So, for my number 3, I am going to bring up a little show called Unfabulous.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Barely. The kids I watched liked it, so I saw a couple episodes.
I don't understand why it got so popular. Personally, I thought it was really fucking stupid, and like, I could not relate to anyone or anything in this show, and like I said, I don't understand how that shit got so fucking popular. And also, Emma fucking Roberts can eat a bag of dicks. She is for real, no. She is a known abuser. She is just a bitch in general, and she's a shitty actress. She's a shitty fucking actress. I'm sorry, she's not good.
She is the same. I liked Scream Queens. I like American Horror Story, but every single time she's in any of them, she's the same person. Same character.
Fucking person. And just the same shitty acting, like, I can't fucking stand her. And, she only, got into the business because her aunt is fucking Julia Roberts.
I don't like Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
she annoys me. She annoys me.
Yeah, like,
she's always annoyed me. My whole life, I don't know why. Even as a kid, never liked Julia Roberts. Just something about her, just not for me.
She's not great in everything. There's a couple of things I thought she
Pretty
did a
Woman
really
is the
good
shit.
job in.
Pretty Woman is the shit.
Pretty Woman, and I also thought she did a really good job in Steel Magnolias. Like, there was...
That's not my kind of genre, so I never really was...
It's not mine either, but, like, I grew up with Steel Magnolias. Like, it was always on TV. My mom always had it, so it was like... I watched it a lot as a kid, and the scene where she is like having kind of like a little bit of a fit, like in the salon, where she's diabetic, so it's like, she was not feeling good, and like she was kind of having a panic attack on top of it, and I thought that was really fucking good. I was like, damn. I was like, okay, like, she really nailed it on the head for that one. Like, she did a really good job. Yeah, right. No, like I said, anything else she's, like, subpar in, but there's a couple of things where it's like, okay, girl, I see you, you know?
I got you.
Yeah.
But Emma Roberts, she's the same. I liked Scream Queens, and I liked American Horror Story. Every season she was in, she never detracted from what she was in, but it was the same character every time. Bitchy, backstabbing, rich girl. Like, it's just the same character every time.
It's so fucking annoying, and she's typecasted as that, and that's, like, I swear to God, the only thing she can fucking play. And
I don't know, because I really liked, what's the one where the meme's always from? I watched this movie, We Are the Millers.
Oh,
I just watched that for the first time a couple months ago because it was on TV. I just never seen it. And I was like, oh, well, I've heard good things. So I watched it, and We Are the Millers was a great movie, and she did fine in that. Like, again, not because of her that the movie is great, but she doesn't detract from it. But I did like We Are the Millers.
That is a fun movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, no, that shit's funny as hell. I do like it. But yeah, no, just like the show, like, just... Why?
See, I didn't even know she was on that show.
Yeah, I think that's where she first started, and just it was so fucking stupid and just so stereotypical, and I don't know how any of that got fucking famous. I really don't. But yeah, no, it's mostly because fuck Emma Roberts.
But that's
She's
how
an
I
abuser.
feel about all of the new Nick shows. Is like I don't understand. Like iCarly, I sort of understand because I did kind of like that one when I was watching with the kids I babysit. They liked all those Nickelodeon shows. I saw here and there the new shows. I didn't mind iCarly, but a lot of the other ones, I was like, it's all the same fucking show. It's just loud people being loud with bright colors, no substance. The lesson, yeah. I'm going to cover this in, I think, my next point, actually. Yeah, so let's just do that.
Yeah.
My number 3 is
Let's
canceling secretly smart shows for shows with little substance beyond bright colors and extreme overacting. Ooh. Which is the Disney acting too, is in their shows nowadays. It's just everybody, whether you're an oddball character or not, is just overacting. And I'm going to compare like the new shows here to Pete and Pete, The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yes.
Great show, full of really odd characters. No one overacted though. Mm-hmm. It was full of really odd fucking people in that show.
It was just quirky enough.
But it was quirky acting. It wasn't over the top. It was them playing the character. Mm-hmm. Whereas now it's everybody's loud and everybody's over-exaggerated movements. And whether you're a straight character, a goofy character, whatever character you're playing, you're loud and you're over the top and you're in bright colors. And it's insane. Yeah. It's insanity.
It's like silent movie acting.
And Pete and Pete, they had stuff to say. Look, Rocco, it's a gross show. Okay, I'm not going to deny it. But it had brilliant writing with great messaging. The reboot that they did a couple of years ago for Netflix was just as brilliant as the original series. So yeah, in between all their gross out, snot humor and jokes and stuff, they had messaging. Whereas from what I can tell from the shows nowadays, whether it's a cartoon or live action, the messaging is surface at best. Yeah. At best. And it's I
agree with that.
The adults are ridiculous. It feels like there's no adults that can be counted on any of these shows. Mm-hmm. Like kids just run shit. So it's basically teaching kids you can't rely on the adults in your life. Just go start your own show, your own iShow, and get your own apartment. Like, it's really not at 13.
It's not a great lesson.
Right.
Kind of weird. Yeah.
And what happened to all the interactive shows? Like, in Nickelodeon now, it seems like it's either a cartoon, a live action, like a drama sitcom show, or it's a show about watching other people play video games, which I get it. People like doing that, but that's what YouTube and shit is for, or streaming. Twitch streaming and shit. Like, why do they have a TV show about watching people play video games? What happened to Wild and Crazy Kids, where they had kids that were Nickelodeon audience kids come out and compete? What happened to Guts? What happened to Figure It Out? What would you do? All these shows that invited kids into their studios to participate in the shows.
I'm wondering the reason why they kind of strayed away from that is maybe like for legal reasons. I wonder, like it just makes me think because
they brought back Double Dare.
Yeah,
for a little while, and then it got canceled again because I haven't seen it. But I watched the new Double Dare with the kids I was watching so that they could see what I used to watch as a kid, and they didn't change it very much. So the kids loved it. The only thing I didn't like is that Space Camp's not a prize anymore.
Boo.
Right. I wanted to go to Space Camp so bad as a kid because it was a prize on everything.
Fucking Space
Every
Camp.
show was like, you get to go to Space Camp. I was like, God damn it, I want to go to Space Camp.
Space Camp sounds fucking amazing. Like, oh my god. Like, I've always wanted to go to Space Camp too. That fucking sounds lit. But yeah,
but the other thing is, the writing on these shows has gone juvenile. Like, I remember as a kid, my dad or my aunt, they would sit down and watch these cartoons with me. They liked Rugrats. They liked Invader Zim. They liked Ren and Stimpy. They liked Hey Arnold, Rocco, all of those, Real Monsters. They liked those. Why? Because yes, it was a show for kids, but they had jokes and visual gags for adults too. Like, my dad thought Rocco was the greatest show ever, and I didn't realize until I was in my 20s that one of the episodes he got a job as a sex phone operator.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby.
I just thought it was a funny episode. Like, So
some of the adult themes,
exactly. They just fly over your head as a kid, but your parents are sitting there cacking up behind you. Like, that's the thing is I'm sitting here as an adult trying to watch these shows now with kids, and I'm like, this is just the worst. It's the worst. Like, let's get to number 2.
Okay, number 2. I am going to bring up... Now, this was actually a little past my era, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I grew up with what happened before these movies and the show and everything got super popular. So I grew up also with a lot of, this was like the rising of YouTube. So this was when YouTube was super new. It was gaining some traction, and I'm sure people know who Fred is. I'm sure people know who Fred is. Do you know who Fred is?
That's that kid that did all those
with
videos
the annoying
with the
voice.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Fred!
I do have to say, like, when I was younger and I would watch some of them were funny.
Fuck.
Oh my god, say that fast, it sounds like Fred Day! Friday, Fred Day, Friday, Fred Day.
Some of them were, I kind of chuckled. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. But, like, I only needed to watch, like, one or two videos for me to be like, okay, I get it. You know, I fucking get it. And it got so fucking annoying on YouTube. I mean, to a point where, like, other creators were, like, mocking it, and, like, it was a weird time on YouTube. Weird.
I don't think there's ever not been a weird time on YouTube.
Okay, fair. Okay, fair. But, of course, at the time, you know, like, I was looking at this, like, ooh, you know, but, then Fred got picked up by Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And then they started doing movies, and then they had a show, and
I didn't see not one single second of any of it.
No.
Thank you.
No. I think I saw, like, the Fred movie, like, when I was, like, I think it was, like, in high school, because, again, it was nostalgic for, you know, me and my friends to be like, oh, you guys remember Fred, you know, and so we would watch it, and it was so fucking stupid.
So glad I've never seen it.
Don't know, like, all of it is so dumb, and it's like, I'm sorry, but you should have just left it at fucking YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his name is Lucas. Like, I don't know, it starts with a C. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It'd be like if they gave Daniel his own show, like
literally, yes, you know. So it's like, I can't, like, I fucking cannot. And like you said, one or two videos, it's like, okay, I get it, you know. But after a while, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I couldn't even do one or two. I watched one and I was like, this is annoying. Done. Mm-hmm. Don't subscribe to this channel. Got it? All right. So my number 2 is, we briefly touched on it, my number 3, but getting rid of SNICK. My childhood was ruled by blocks of television. Thursday night was must-see TV.
Yep.
Friday was TGIF. Saturday was SNICK. All right? I don't understand. Well, I kind of understand why. Because they stopped putting good shows there. Let me tell you the shows that I used to watch on SNICK. Clarissa Explains It All. All That. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Space Cases. Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, which I have on DVD now. Journey of Alan Strange. Kenan and Kel. Rugrats. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Animorphs. All shows that I loved that aired on SNICK. All right? Then they started putting shows that weren't as good. Like, I don't know. Like, the Amanda Show's the last show I remember on SNICK that I actually tuned in for. Like, I would just watch the Amanda Show and then turn it off. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, I was a teenager. I had better things to do on Saturday night than watch SNICK anyway. But for the younger kids, I think if they had kept putting quality programming, they could have kept SNICK and kept their reign over Saturday nights in children's lives.
Right.
But the shows just were bad, and so ratings started dropping. So in 2005, they got rid of SNICK. It's like, why not just revamp it or redo it? Or you guys had the lock on Saturday nights for kids, and I just don't understand why you would give that up. Who said unbranding is a good thing? Like,
yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think in the past couple of acts, I don't remember the exact year, but I want to say it was like around 2015, 2016. I know that in a way they kind of started bringing something like SNICK back, where it was like Saturday, it was like late Saturday night. Well,
it was 7 to 9 was SNICK.
Yeah, so what I think like I said, what they did in 2015, like they started it at like 10. They started at like 10 o'clock. And so, and they're like, look at all these nostalgic throwbacks. I can't remember what it's called, but they were playing stuff that was like that was like beginning where I was like, no one's gonna fucking remember this.
Just play Kablam and move on,
like,
alright?
right, like they played like Hey Dude.
I loved Hey Dude. Hey Dude, I loved Hey Dude. I loved
Hey
Salute
Dude.
Your Shorts.
Yeah.
See, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's
Is
what
she
they
and
were
I
playing.
grew up in different times. So if I turned on the TV and saw them playing those old shows, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
You'd be losing
Whereas
shit.
she's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
Right,
I have
right.
Hey Dude on DVD. I love Hey Dude.
Nice.
I loved
Yes.
Salute Your Shorts. I loved all of those shows that were just so much fun.
Hell yeah.
God.
Which, I mean, hey, like, no, like, they're great shows, and I've seen, like, bits and pieces of them, but, like, I was still I was, like, a tad disappointed because, like, I mean, they were going, like, way back, and I was like, well, man, I want to see, like, Kenan and Kel, and, like, all that,
That's
you know
the
what I
difference
mean?
in our ages.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to see the Amanda show. It's like, those are the things I wanted to see, and so I was a little disappointed, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't happy. So I was like, I'm glad. I was still very happy and very, very satisfied with the fact that Nick actually said, hey, we should bring these back at like 10 p.m. on a
Please
Saturday.
do more of that. I will watch it. Like, now that I'm 36, I don't have some better stuff to do on a Saturday night. I'll watch Nickelodeon again.
The fact that they made an effort, you know.
Right.
The fact that they made an effort, A for effort,
guys.
So,
yeah. But yeah, I liked all those old weird shows like Ah Real Monsters and Kablam, where it was just
Real Monsters.
Kablam was the weirdest shit. With that Inside Out boy skit.
Inside Out Boy, what you want in a hero.
Guts.
From the network that's got what you want, Nickelodeon.
Good shit, you
Good
guys.
shit. Good shit. Wienerville.
Shit.
It was all great. God,
yeah.
the weirdest fucking shit. I loved it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Number 1.
Oh fuck, we're here. Okay. The new live action movie of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about Avatar. I really don't. I never liked Avatar. Don't. You can come for me. I don't give a fuck. I don't like Avatar. I'm not a big anime person. There's some I like, but I'm not a big anime person.
Well, I'm not an anime person either, but for some reason, like Avatar, I was like, whoa, beach. Like I was into this. I mean, it was so fucking good, and I watched it a whole lot, and you know, it's kind of sad because it's like I don't really remember the later seasons very well, but like the newer seasons, I'm like, yes, Avatar, you know. And when they made the live action movie, I was like so excited. I was like, oh man, I was like, that'll be kind of cool or whatever. And then all the reviews started coming out, and they were saying like how shitty this was, and how, you know, they basically fucking ruined Avatar, and that actually deterred me. I didn't watch it because I was like, I can't let this ruin. Like, honestly,
I get that.
I can't let it ruin my memories of Avatar.
I get
And
that.
I saw bits and pieces of it in like some sort of like YouTube review. Oh my god, you know, like, I mean, I wanted to cry. Like, there was, you know, when you have earthbenders that have shown in the show, like, to destroy so fucking much. I mean, like the earthbenders are fucking powerful. And then in the movie, they just show, you know, like, earthbenders just, like, bending just a smaller boulder, and it's, like, slowly moving through the air, and then it, like, destroys the enemy. What the flying fuck is that? That's not what earthbenders do. That is not what earthbenders do. Like, that...
I hear you.
They destroy, like, whole towns. It's like, you're telling me just...
And she's not the only one to feel this
Like,
way. I don't care about Avatar, but I remember the uproar over this
Mother
and how
Christ.
pissed off people were about this movie.
I was in that majority. I was so fucking mad. And, like, they made Aang just look weird. I didn't like the actor who played Aang, and I just... No.
She hates it.
No. Fuck you. Like, fuck you, Nickelodeon. I cannot even believe you had the audacity. God, it's so
I like
upsetting
when people
because
get
it's
as mad
such,
as I do.
it's such a great show, and it has so much substance, and, like, the character development is so good. Like, you know, in the beginning, like, you have, like, the, you know, of course, the antagonist, but then, like, as seasons go on, you kind of realize, you know, like, the antagonist is kind of, like, going through his own metamorphosis, and he's like, wow, I am part of something really shitty. And, like, Zuko turns into something completely different. And that, you never see that in a fucking children's show.
I'm not an
Unreal.
anime fan, but I've heard people tell me that this is a really good show. So I'm not going to diss on it. I just don't, it's not for me. So I've never seen a single episode of it. So I can't relate to what she's feeling other than when similar shows have done that to me that I do like. So I get what she's feeling.
The reviews in America have been pretty harsh.
The critics are, I don't know what's going on with me and the critics in the United States. I got to tell you, something's going on.
I can't even believe you had the gall, like, to make this and release it and say it's good, because it's not.
Well, that's how I think a lot of video game people have been feeling about the video game movies that have come out in the past.
Yes.
Like, so we've all got our problems with Hollywood.
Listen, like, I'm open to it. Like, believe me, I am fucking open to making movies, based on video games. Absolutely, I'd love to see it.
Do it well, though. Like Sonic did.
Exactly.
I love the Sonic movie. I just do.
Really?
I love the Sonic movie so much. I'm excited for the sequel. I love the Sonic movie. I would not have liked it if they hadn't made the changes that were requested by fans, though. With those crazy ass teeth, that was not okay, you guys.
The whole
that's
internet.
Not okay. The whole internet was like, no.
The whole internet bullied. They bullied the studio into changing it
For the right. It was the right thing to do.
That is revolution.
It is the right thing to do. That's one of the times where the audience was right to be like, guys, no thanks.
Cyberbully the shit out of them. It's god awful.
It's horrible.
Yep.
Oh god.
Yep.
It was bad. All right. So my number one problem with Nickelodeon, or my worst take on Nickelodeon, is they just don't seem fun anymore. They just don't.
I agree.
As a kid, I dreamed of going to Nick Studios in Orlando, Florida. I wanted to go there more than I wanted to go to Disney World. I only made it to Disney World because my mom is the one who took us, and she was not a Nickelodeon fan. She liked Disney, so we went to Disney. Had fun, loved Disney. Not what this is about. But I never made it to Nick Studios in Orlando, Florida. And in 2005 or something, they closed down the studio. And gave it to the Blue Man Group. Editor Wyatt put up a picture here, the before and after, of what Nickelodeon Studios looked like in the 90s and what it looks like now as the Blue Man Studio. That hurts not only my inner child.
It's painful.
Not only does that hurt my inner child, it hurts my adult bitter exterior. It really does. Like, it's painful. It looked so much fun. Every time I watched Nickelodeon, kids were having fun. I was, they're wild and crazy kids. Kids were competing against each other.
Getting
crazy,
slimed.
Getting slimed everywhere.
Yes.
No, there's no slime. I think they now slime people still at the MTV Awards. But they had so many shows where slime. I wanted to be slimed so bad. They had a slime geyser in front of their studios.
They did.
It was amazing, you guys. You thought you were going to get slimed at any point. Anybody could. They had, you can't do that on television, which was originally a Canadian show, but came to Nickelodeon. They had, What Would You Do? Double Dare, Wienerville, all shows that you could get slimed slimed on. Did I wanted to be slimed so bad. Did I have several jars of gack? Yup, sure did. I wanted to be slimed so bad. And it just seems like they don't have this. Nickelodeon got rid of the slime, got rid of the interactive shows, got rid of SNICK, and now they don't seem to have the same cultural relevance in children's lives as they used to.
No. Not even close. Like, not even close. It's all boring as shit. And I think what you were the slime is for Kids' Choice Awards, right? Yeah, I think because
that's all they use it on now.
I was like MTV because you said MTV, so I was like, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be a stickler about
Whatever.
it. I was just
in the heat of the moment.
It's okay, but no,
there's too many award shows.
I remember the kids like when I was a kid, the Kids' Choice Awards was like that was it. Like that was the fucking thing you talked about at school. Like that was the fucking thing you debated on.
No one cares now.
No one cares, and I remember specifically too when Shrek came out. And it was huge. And especially with Nickelodeon where, I think like Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz were always doing like publicity stuff for it. And I just remember, oh my God, like such good memories. And Kids' Choice Awards was just,
it was fun.
It was it, you guys. Like that was the fucking
Nickelodeon
thing.
is no longer fun. That is the problem with Nickelodeon. They had something in the 90s and it just slowly like, I don't know if it was too much studio interference. I don't know if the wrong people were making decisions, but it's like they slowly sucked the fun out of it. It's like, I don't know. I really don't know who made the decisions over there, but they lost their cultural relevance.
I'm wondering if, again, I know I brought this up earlier. I wonder if, like, legalities might be a thing. Because who knows? Maybe parents, maybe Nickelodeon's like, look,
we're taking too many lawsuits.
Well, that, and we're tired of facing scrutiny. Like, we're tired of facing, all the, parents are upset about this. Parents are upset about that.
And parents.
Right? I mean, like, to a degree...
Parents just don't understand.
To a degree, I understand. Like, I understand you want people to be safe, and I understand you want, to include appropriate things on a children's show. Like, I get that. But, like, there are so many things you can do, kind of like on Double Dare, where... There's a lot of safety. You can still be safe, and you can still sign your waivers, and you can still do all your
part
legal
of
shit.
the thrill of being on there is, am I going to get beaten up by this thing?
Yeah.
Like, Legends of the Hidden Temple, they were literally running through obstacle courses. Like, I wanted to do the temple so bad. I wanted to be on the show so bad.
That was cool, though.
So bad.
It was so cool.
I wanted to do the temple run. Oh, and I wanted to be on Guts. I wanted to climb the aggro crag and get that cool trophy. Oh my god.
I wanted to be on Figure It Out so bad.
Oh yes, I loved
Figure
It Out and they would have Danny Tamborelli and Michelle Trachtenberg on like every week, and I'd be like,
Yep. Figure It Out was cool. I wanted to be on that show badly.
It was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what talents could I go on there with that they have to guess?
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, it was amazing. Nickelodeon, in its heyday, was an amazing place for children. And I think that went up a little bit through her childhood. And then around 2005, when they canceled SNICK, when they closed their studios, I think that's when they started to really falter.
Yeah. Well, and I think, too, another thing that was... that is important to bring up, too, is kind of after 2005... There was a tiny bit of a resurgence because, Dan Schneider.
Let's talk about Dan Schneider.
Yeah, if people don't know who Dan Schneider is, he is the creator and executive producer of several shows on Nickelodeon, including and not limited to Drake and Josh, iCarly, The Amanda Show.
Yep.
So just to name a few, Sam and Cat. I know that's kind of like past our times, but anyway, he did a lot of shows. He did a lot of work. And the shows are very funny, and the shows are very, very popular. They're good, and I watched a whole lot of them when I was a kid, and those are good memories. And again, kind of like I was saying with SpongeBob, like there have been times where I could not breathe. I was laughing so fucking hard, especially with like Drake and Josh, and shows like.
See, Amanda Show's the only one that he worked on that I really watched. Because then, again, I was kind of out. I've seen iCarly, I've seen Sam and Cat, Victorious, all that shit. I've kind of seen it.
Yeah, Victorious, it was another one.
Because the kids do like it. The kids, I mean, good on them, it is for them, but...
It's their generation. It's just what they understand.
Again, I was able to watch Nickelodeon with my parents, and they had just as good a time as I did, and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, it started dwindling away from that when,
But Dan Schneider... may have created good shows, but he's a problem.
Yeah, Dan Schneider is a really, really shitty person. He has and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. He has a foot fetish, which there's nothing wrong.
That's fine. Tarantino has a foot fetish.
Exactly.
That's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna put that out there right now.
If you like feet, that's on you.
Right. But liking children's feet's a little not right.
Different.
and being a little too comfortable with teenagers.
Not okay.
Yeah, he would he did a lot of grooming, and it's fucking disgusting.
Amanda Bynes has spoken out on it.
So has Jeanette McCurdy from Sam
and didn't
Cat
Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande did when she did Victorious. Yeah. She said a couple of things. Miranda Cosgrove has definitely spoken out. It's actually I'm not entirely sure if she has or not, but I know Miranda Cosgrove also had issues. But it's so shitty to hear because that started kind of coming up actually a couple of years ago. was starting to kind of unfold, and that's when people were like speaking up and being like, yeah, Dan Schneider's a piece of shit, especially fucking Amanda Bynes, that poor girl.
Right.
You know, so it's really, really hard to see that you see that this creator, this guy who made these shows that were so funny and gave you such good feelings about yourself and just made you laugh, got away.
He likes them young.
Yeah, got away from the fucking shit of life, and then then you realize this is the type of man he was.
I blame him for Amanda Bynes, I really do.
Oh yeah, like that.
That
girl
is had her
not
whole,
even questionable.
Like that girl had a big career ahead of her. Even the Nickelodeon movies, like Big Fat Liar. I loved Big Fat Liar.
Frankie Muniz.
Loved Big Fat Liar. That's a great movie. Paul Giamatti's great in it. Both Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes are great in it. I love that movie. Jill White's in it. Donald Faison. It's a great movie, okay? Yep. But she was getting... I mean, then she got that show with Jenny Garth, the What Girls Want, or what... I don't know. Where they were sisters. I mean, she was gonna be going places, and I feel like what she went through held her back.
Big time.
And then
she didn't deserve that.
She kind of went the way of Britney, where she was having a public meltdown, and rather than people being, nice about it or saying, "Hey, that poor girl," they made fun of her, and it's the same thing that happened to Britney, and it's all bullshit.
It's really shitty, and I do have to bring up too. So, kind of like a little bit of the opposite of Dan Schneider. Yes, he is shitty, the shows are funny, but a really good alternative that with not a super shitty creator, I have to bring up is Ned's Declassified School
I love that
Guide.
show so much. I love Ned. That was past my time, but I still watched it.
I cannot even begin to fucking tell you.
I loved it.
How much I probably have watched every single one of those episodes at the very least 5 times each. I know that show like the back of my fucking hand. I still watch it.
I have the finale on DVD.
Do you really?
The hour-long one where they go to the museum or whatever.
Museum? Yeah.
I have it on DVD.
And that was created by Scott Fellows, I believe. And Scott Fellows is fucking hilarious, and he's not a piece of shit. He also did, again, this is kind of past my time a little bit, the Big Time Rush show.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, he did that, and I only saw like bits and pieces of it, but it had a lot of the same humor as Ned's Declassified. So I was like,
well, Dan Schneider's shows are all pretty similar too.
That's true, but yeah, that is absolutely true. But it is nice to see a creator who can create very similar humor.
Right. And not be focused on kids' feet.
Exactly, and not be shitty and actually treat these kids with respect.
Right.
Because, I mean, you look at, I think his name is Devin Werkheiser.
Yeah.
And you look at all the kids, from...
Lindsay Shaw was Mose.
Lindsay Shaw was
and
Mose.
And Daniel Curtis, I think.
Daniel Curtis was Cookie.
Yeah.
And then there was Susie Crabgrass. You have...
She was fun. I can't remember her real name, but
Christian Serratos. Yeah, Christian Serratos. And, and she's doing big things. She was on Walking Dead. She's doing big fucking things right now, and all those kids, you don't really hear anything weird about those kids. So, what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that there could have been issues that we obviously didn't see or know about, but they seem to be okay, and I think that's...
I love that show, though. It was a great show.
I remember when Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide came on Netflix, and I was like a senior in high school, and I was like, oh my god! And I went home, and I watched the entire fucking show, in a matter, I think, of a couple days. I would come home from school, and that was all I would watch while I was doing my homework, and just... That show, again, another one, I couldn't breathe.
Yep.
I couldn't breathe.
She's talking about she was older. That show came out, I was already past pre-teenage, I think. I think it came out 2001? 2001?
No, it was a lot later.
Was it? So yeah by 2000...
2006 or 2007, I think.
Right. So 2006, 2000. So I'm 20, and I still watched it and loved it. It was. I was not the age grade, but I enjoyed the show, and that's what I mean by Nickelodeon used to do TV that adults and children could enjoy, and they don't anymore because I don't enjoy watching any of the new shows.
No, and Ned's Declassified that's actually a perfect example where adults and kids can watch it and be like, oh my god, my mom used to watch it with me, and she again. Parts where she couldn't fucking breathe. She was laughing so hard. And I had a really good friend in high school whose mom also watched it. And she watched it without him. She would watch it without him. And she thought it was so funny. Like, some of the jokes in there, like, I remember one specific I remember one specific joke where I think it was Cookie who went up to Gordy, the janitor, and was like, "Hey, Gordy, do you think Lisa Zemo is hot?" And he was like, "I can't answer that due to the fact that I'm 40." And I could not.
I died. It was so funny.
I could not fucking breathe.
I was like, he's right, though. Like, good on you, Gordy.
I could not fucking breathe the first time I saw that. It was so fucking funny.
I know.
So it's like shows like that have tons of stuff like that in it. And it's really good to see. That's, I think, like, my favorite Nick show of all time next to SpongeBob. I'm pretty sure, Ned's Declassified is pretty high on the list.
I think Nickelodeon needs a rebranding because it just, and a lot of people, I don't remember exactly when, but Nickelodeon, like, changed their logo from the splat to, like, something else, and people were irrationally upset about it, but I get it.
It was the foot.
I don't know what it was.
Like, I know at one point, like, I think it was actually on the Nick Studios where it was a foot. And it's the Nickelodeon.
And it would come down. Yeah, that I don't mind. No, they got rid of the splat and they had like, maybe it's here. No, because see they should have the splat that says Nickelodeon instead of just orange.
And it was
Nickelodeon.
A different font.
Yeah,
it was a different font.
Maybe that's what it was. The font they changed.
Yeah.
There's something they changed and people got really upset about it. And I was like,
fair.
I think they need to kind of go a little retro in how they used to be as a studio. Like, bring back the fun, guys. Bring back the fun, the interaction. I know you can't really bring live studio audiences right now because pandemic and all, but once that's over, like, I don't know, just go back, get your studio shows, get your participation shows, your game shows going again. Make yourselves culturally relevant to children again, because right now they're getting their content from YouTube. They don't care about Nickelodeon.
Well, and they see, I mean, especially children in this generation, they're seeing all these other game shows that are being created for adults.
Tell me why the reboot of Legends of the Hidden Temple is A, on the CW and not Nickelodeon, B, for adults and not children. Like, I get you're trying to play to people my age who are like, I always wanted to be on that show, and now I still can, but, like, I'm sorry, I'm old and achy. I don't want to go through the temple now, But, why not just revive it on Nickelodeon for kids? Why not redo Legends of the Hidden Temple? They learn a little history, and they get to play a game. Like, I don't...
Like, the newer generation would love it. Like, I really feel like they would. It's fun
shit. You get story time from Olmec. Then you get to have trivia time. You get to, it's a great show. I love that show. And I'm mad that Kurt Fogg isn't the host of the remake. Fuck that. They couldn't get Kurt Fogg back. Yeah. They shouldn't have done the remake because whose nostalgia feels are you playing on now? Oh.
I think one more thing to add, and this is it, because we definitely need to cut it off. One more thing I want to add. I know that since, generations are different and things have changed, again, we're talking about the YouTube era and kids are being exposed to more and more adult themes and more adult content, because they can go on YouTube and they can look at whatever they want. So I guess I can understand why, Nickelodeon might be like, maybe we shouldn't do, like, a reboot of Legends of the Hidden Temple because they might think it's dumb. Or they might think, like, it's not mature. Because they're always...
Who cares?
Society is always putting that on kids where it's like,
kids
you always have
smart.
to mature, And it's like, no, you're allowed to just be a child.
Right. 13-year-olds shouldn't have to act like 18-year-olds right now. That's ridiculous. No. Let them be 13-year-olds and watch Legends of the Hidden Temple.
It is a problem.
And that's the problem is I think they think kids are dumb also, and they're not. Because it seems like the writing on these shows has gone downhill. It started as, yes, this is gross, haha, fart noises, blah, blah, blah. But in between all that, there was actually really smart writing. And now
a lot of substance.
It's just... No, it's just, how can we make a loud half-hour episode of television?
It's kind of hard to revert kids back to just be a kid. Because, again, they're swallowing adult content every day, and it's harder now. And I understand that, and I understand that maybe that's why they don't do it.
They're seeing shows, which show is it iCarly or one of those shows where she has her own goddamn apartment at age 13 or something. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, shit.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, fucking Sam and Cat.
Whatever. Why are kids watching shows about other kids living on their own?
It's weird.
This isn't Party of Five. Like, what the fuck?
It's weird. No, and it's just, no.
It feels like these shows are forcing kids, You're right. To be more adult than they are. At 13, you should not have your own place.
No.
You just should not. I have my own place. I still don't make great decisions. Like, are you kidding me? 13-year-olds should not have their own apartment.
No. And you know, it's so funny too, like, again, a lot of these kids are being fed like, oh, adults know everything. Adults, you know, they know this, they know that, and you know, they're stable. And it's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, you know what? Adults get scared too, and adults make really weird, rash decisions too. We are still, and probably always going to be, children.
Right.
The only difference is when you get older, you just happen to learn a lot of that adult life information. That doesn't necessarily going to change how you feel. Yeah. Or, you know, maybe if you experience any trauma, or, you know, like, that's not going to change your feelings.
I don't know. All I know is, I think Nickelodeon's just fallen by the wayside. I grew up in a time where Nickelodeon was interactive with its audience, with the kids in studio, with the kids at home. It was just, It was an interactive time. It was a gross time. It was a slimy time, but it was my childhood.
Fuck yeah. Nick rules! Nick rules, dude.
All right, so next week, we're going to be doing worst horror couples.
Yay.
In celebration of Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is my shit, and it's so funny. Valentine's Day and Halloween, the two most opposite fucking holidays, are my favorite. So I love
Day, so that's whatever.
Fucking love it. I just like hearts. And
you do you. I'm just.
I
don't like it. I don't like it. I think
like
it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think just be nice to your significant other every day. Like
that's fair. That's fair.
But anyway, it's Hallmark. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. Like, yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're doing worst horror couples for Valentine's Day next week.
Like and subscribe.
Right.
Because we work really hard to fucking talk about shit like this, okay? So please keep watching.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell so you get all future content for this channel. And good night, good fight.
He couldn't fly, or even leap tall buildings, but what he could do, gross out adults, made him a hero to kids the world over.
Excuse me.
Inside Out Boy, what you want in a hero.
Guts.
From the network that's got what you want, Nickelodeon.